Awesome. It started. We are now live from ISTE 2014 in Atlanta with Jerry and Tom, and Brad and Scott are on the hangout.
Hello, everybody.
Hey, everybody. Welcome. All right, we're about ready to go in about a minute here. I'm going to send the welcome tweet out in about a second.
So we have about 15, 20 people here so far this morning. Awesome. It started. We are now live from ISTE Atlanta with Jerry and Tom. Hold on one second. Brad and Scott are on the hangout.
What was that?
Hey, everybody. Welcome. Hey, everybody. All right, welcome's been sent out, so we are officially live with a sad chat from ISTE. In about a minute here, I'm going to send the welcome out.
Hold on one second. I don't know where it's coming from. Okay, so we have about 15, 20 people here so far this morning. Awesome. It started. We are now live from ISTE. Where's it coming from?
Thank God Scott left the hangout.
Yeah. Play it again.
Hold on. I got to figure out where the echo is coming from. All right, I fixed the echo, guys. All right, so we're gonna start. I think where's Jimmy? Is Jimmy Calsis in the room yet? Where's Jimmy?
Where's my man? Is Daisy there?
I don't think she's coming in this afternoon.
Okay.
All right, we don't have the broadcast, the live thing anymore. But I don't have my questions now. I don't know where that came from. Not what I wanted to. Jeez. All right, Brad, you want to ask the first question? Or do you not have the question?
What is the...
Hold on,
I don't have the questions in front of me. Because I'm on the hangout on my phone.
The questions are on the poster I made right over here.
We have the questions actually posted.
I tried to cover all the bases. I want to hear what from the
Well,
students,
you know what?
from the
Before we even
parents.
do that, where's everybody from? Massachusetts.
Oh.
Ooh, we got
Ed. Nice chat. Great chat.
We have someone from Hawaii. She's not paying attention.
Nice.
Montana. South Carolina. Alabama. North Carolina. Vermont. Oh, Green Mountain. Arizona. Rodney Turner.
So what is the first question, Billy?
The first question is, well, we got a couple of minutes, so.
Oh, okay. It's not 7:30 yet?
It's 7:31.
Okay, let's go.
Okay.
First question is, what is involved in a technology revolution for school or district? Does anybody want to chime in?
Are you going to start right away? No welcomes?
We were doing the welcome. Do we want to?
Okay, I forgot. It's not 7:36 yet.
That's what I'm saying, Brad. Calm down there.
If this were Ed Tech Chat, we would have this down to a science course. I just want to throw that out there. Or maybe Ed Chat.
Generally, the first 5 minutes or so, you introduce yourself, you tell you where you're from.
Hey, guys. I'm back.
All right, stop talking about Scott. He's back.
I'm back.
So, does that introduce themselves? Feel free.
Nancy Carroll.
Nancy Carroll from Massachusetts.
All right, Nancy.
Drew, introduce yourself.
We left out Indiana. Indiana.
Drew Frank from Atlanta.
From South Carolina.
Don't be shy.
George Champlin, Greenville, South Carolina.
Oh, okay. Good morning.
A lot of people from the South there, huh?
There's a lot. There's a lot of people coming from New Jersey. Brad and Scott are live with us. Did you hear her?
Lori's there. Hi, Lori.
Lori's there.
My buddy Lori.
All right, who's tweeting this first question?
Scott's gonna tweet all the questions.
I'm gonna start sending questions out in a couple minutes here. So
Hey guys, feel free. We have SatChat stickers. Feel free to take them. I don't want to take them back in my suitcase. Oh, Christina and Vic, hold on. You know what? We'll do this one. Drew, can you do me a favor?
Why don't you come up with that? Bring them up.
We got this guy, bro. Ashley, bring them up. Or you know what? I'll cancel that.
what are they?
Here. It's Flat Vicky.
Very nice. That's awesome.
That's great.
Very cool.
So I hope Vicky's watching because she's at ISTE.
Good morning, Paula. Louisiana in the house.
I'm holding this, and people are now taking pictures here of this. So we have a lot of different states. There's a lot of people here already. The conference actually starts tonight at what time, Nikini? 4? 5?
5 something.
Oh, has it started yet?
There's a lot of us who went to the Hacked Ed conference, which was the unconference yesterday.
How'd that go?
It went well. We had a lot of conversations yesterday about makerspace, gamification in the classroom. We did a session on Boxer. A lot of good information was shared at that event. Does anybody want to share something they learned yesterday at Hacked Ed for anyone who was at Hacked Ed?
Oh my gosh, the SmackDown was amazing.
Yes.
If you go to the wiki from yesterday, you tweeted it out, I'll put it again. Amazing as the resources shared. I'll tweet it right now, the link to the wiki with all the
It was outstanding. It really was. Yes.
Here's question 1.
Paula, we're at the Welcome Lounge.
All right, question 1 has been posted, everybody.
All right, first question we got is right up there. What is involved in a technology revolution for a school or district? Since we're live and in person, does anybody would like to share their thoughts?
It's for a school and a school district.
You gotta get buy-in from all the key players.
You got to get
Thank you.
buy-in.
Not just in the school, though. You want the community, you want the parents, you want everyone else.
Gotta have a vision.
Okay, vision.
I think it takes a change of mindset.
For a technology revolution to happen,
Right.
it has to be about the kids. It's not about us. It's about the kids and what they're comfortable with.
I'd echo Brad's comments, but I'd also say the technology revolution has to improve student learning and has to enhance teaching in the classroom. So if you really want a revolution, it's got to be part of everything we do in education. So inside and outside of the classroom, it needs to be an expectation on a daily basis.
Scott, you're going to have to give us a second. Air Force One is flying top of the
Brad probably planned that.
A technology revolution is not about technology. It's all about learning.
Absolutely right.
Culture and mindset.
It is. It's a mindset. It's how you do it. I know Bruce Akario, who's coming down right now, they're doing a technology revolution with their PD. They're taking all their curriculum and developing a STEM academy. They took their science, math, they looked at how to build STEM based on what they actually had, and then added the technology on top of that.
Hey, Billy, is Bruce there? Scott, what happened?
I'm not sure. I think they might have froze up, but we might still be live because it's saying live. Just might have froze up for a second. Could be the views.
I can't tell Billy it froze up because I'm only on my phone.
I'll tell him. There we go. We're back.
Yep.
It might be me.
You want to go to breakfast so bad?
I'm gonna go back. I'm gonna go back into the Hangout.
Are you, okay.
Yep, and here we go with the Wi-Fi. That's all right.
You guys are back, Billy?
Can you hear us?
Yes. Hey, is Bruce Arcurio there?
Bruce is coming, and he's at what's it called? He is flying in right now.
Oh, okay.
There's the problem with sometimes with the Wi-Fi here. When a lot of people are first coming on, it becomes a little tricky.
So, Billy, you guys are talking about technology revolution, what it's about.
Yes.
Again, I talked about before, it's definitely all about the kids, not about us. But obviously, for a technology revolution to happen, you need to have a strong infrastructure. You need to have devices. You need to have support for the staff there to implement those types of changes. And everybody needs to be on board. So I think that's important as well.
Yeah, I like to echo what Brad said. You do need that. You need a lot of training, and you need follow-up and support.
Too many times the technology revolution, people look at it as light technology. They'll go out and they'll buy the hardware. Buying the hardware and buying the stuff is the easy part. It is about professional development. It is about curriculum and assessment. It's about data-driven decision-making. It's about learning in the classroom. All of those things. My new role, a resource, is something called Project 24. It is a digital learning implementation framework. Buying the stuff. I believe we have a crisis in our country with school districts going out there and buying 10,000 Chromebooks, 20,000 Chromebooks, and just buying the stuff, bringing it in, and then saying, well, now what do we do with it? Now what do we do for the professional learning? So it is not about the devices. It is about the learning and doing whatever it takes to make sure that it is successful. People are starting with the devices and then figuring out the learning. Start with the learning, figure out the devices, figure out the PD, and then purchase the devices.
You're right. You're absolutely right, Tom. And it's also about autonomy, right? I mean, there's so many different devices and websites and apps that kids can use in the classroom. I think educators need to realize that you don't need to know how to use everything. I think you need to give kids the freedom to show what they know with whatever device or app or website that is out there, and trust them and give them the autonomy to show what they know with those pieces of technology.
And give them choices on which devices they can use. A lot of these students are more comfortable than a lot of teachers are using the technology.
Anybody feel free to chime in. Yeah. We're doing the live, but we actually want to have, instead of us always sitting on Twitter each week, talk, throw ideas out there.
And by the way,
I want to hear what Lori Barron has to say.
Susan Bearden right there.
Yeah, I see Susan's here.
And the bandwidth and everything else. Right, exactly.
So I'm consulting for a school district that went out and bought 10,000 Chromebooks at a high school, very large high school. The first day they came in, they turned them all on, the network crashed. They never considered the infrastructure prior to the devices. So their solution is currently a one-to-one where they rotate which classroom.
What's up, hon? Guys, I have a few more minutes, and I gotta cut out. We're gonna go to breakfast.
We definitely have
That
to
is so
model.
true.
We have to model.
We
the
have to
proper use
model.
of technology.
Scott, can you hear everybody's
Yes,
question?
Good point.
I just got back on. I had a little bit of a problem with the audio, so I'm putting out question 2 right now.
All right, we're asking question 2. Anyone who's watching live, just let us know if you could hear people say. Otherwise, I just attached the 30-foot USB cord because I have everything in my bag, so we could pass it around. Hey, you got to be prepared at a tech conference.
Bill, what happens is the workforce is one where it's a one-to-one device. You go into any office, everybody has one-to-one devices and is using it, but we're not preparing our children properly because they don't have one-to-one devices. They don't know how to use it.
Right, could be 4-to-1, 5-to-1 in a lot of places.
So the question then becomes, what can we do as educators to help prepare our students better? And you could even go with the administrators. We were having a conversation yesterday. Who was at the Hack Dad one about digital leadership? And we were just talking about why adding just technology when you really need to. Don't buy technology for the sake of buying technology. Buy technology that's going to benefit your students. And it's how can we get that message across to everybody? Scott, you want to chime in on that one?
Yeah, Billy, actually, I want to also touch base with what Tom was saying about the infrastructure. One of the things that I did when I started my superintendency 18 months ago was work on the infrastructure, and we finally have it as of July 1 where we want it so that we can do what we want to do. If we want to go one-to-one or we want to do BYOD, we can do that. So now we have options, but if you don't set up the infrastructure first, it's not going to happen, and all it's going to do is frustrate. Any initiative that you have or want to do with teachers and students and the public will fall flat because they can't do anything. Frustration will cause us to go back to what we're comfortable with, and that's not having technology in the classroom. So, Tom hits the nail on the head. Let's work on that, and then let's move forward with devices. And the device you pick is what works for you.
Now, I would agree with you, Scott. It's so important. We could add whatever we want, but if we don't have the infrastructure, you can't do anything.
Are you taking another selfie?
We decided there's a new hashtag. It's hashtag #ISTESelfie.
I've seen plenty of them with you in them.
Summer LS. Everyone has to do their
Hey, question number 2 is out. Okay, and people are answering it now.
Question 2, why is it necessary to have a technology revolution in our schools and districts?
I would say because it's important that we stop the one-size-fits-all, top-down, sit-and-get type mentality. I had the privilege and honor of testifying in front of Congress on Wednesday, and when I did so, we talked. But my point in getting across to Congress is that it's our job to personalize the learning for every child, and with technology, we have the ability to do so. And so I believe one of the biggest reasons to do it is because our kids deserve it and our kids need it, and our kids need to drive every conversation about this topic. So we can personalize the learning through technology, and I will also say in that conversation that technology will never replace a high-quality teacher. Technology will make a high-quality teacher that much better, and I think it's important that we never forget that.
We need to be sure we're clear about what we mean by personalized learning too. A lot of
Yep.
vendors are using the term in a different way.
Personalized learning, the term is stamped on virtually everything these days. So how do we individualize the instruction for every child?
And Common Core.
And keep our teachers sane at the same time.
Personalizing the teaching.
Yep.
I think that's the more compelling argument. I think often we hear about educating them for tomorrow, but I think it's really about the fact that we can better educate them today. It's not only about preparation for the world they'll inherit, but we can reach them deeper where they're at today if we're.
Hey, Billy, who was that talking? Because I think that's a key.
True Frank.
Drew Frank.
Hit it out of the park on that one. Technology is here today. We're using it everywhere at every moment. And why does education have to be the last institution to implement technology for use in learning? Everybody else is doing it. Everybody's been doing it for years. So if it's not working in education, we have to have a revolution. We have to push it. We have to make sure that it's there for the right purpose. So kids are using it whether we use it in the class or not.
And I'll throw out there, Sharon Planet just put out there, teachers need to prepare themselves. And I think right now we had plenty of teachers and administrators who are preparing themselves by being at a conference like ISTE.
Thank you.
To have their own learning. And people who attend Hack Ed, the unconferences that are so popular, we need to be able to choose our own PD. Tom hit it on the head before. We need to get the answer out to administrators. Let teachers choose their own learning.
That's the next question, Billy. You're ahead of yourself.
So I'm going to challenge the nature of the question in and of itself. And I'm going to quote my good man, Jimmy Casas.
Where's Jimmy? Is Jimmy here yet?
Jimmy's quote was, "It's not about a technology revolution, it's about a teaching and learning revolution." And I think that is perfectly said.
Yes.
Shout out, Jimmy.
Jimmy, you got a shout out even though you said. Jerry, somebody wanted to see your cape, by the way. Scott's not there anymore. But there he is. We were just showing Jerry's cape because you left, Scott.
I love that cape. It's awesome.
Wait, Jerry, show it for this. Hold on. Let me hold it up this way. How awesome is that?
Very cool.
All right, we're not up to question 3 yet. We have a couple of minutes. Does
Question
anybody else
3.
want to share? Go ahead, Scott.
Question 3 is going to come up in a minute.
Adam Bello, where's Adam?
No, that's Adam Taylor.
Adam Bello
too,
right there.
2 Adams. Adam Square.
Adam, we'll throw this one at you. What is necessary to have a technology revolution in our schools and districts?
Yes.
Yeah.
To have a
technology revolution.
There you go.
Adam, what time's
Adam
your autograph
Bello.
session this afternoon?
Right after yours, Tom. While we have a minute, I'm going to plug right here. Tweet Me. It's an app designed by Susan, who's sitting right over there.
Yeah.
Teaches people how to use Twitter. All right, you know what? We're going to go on to question 3.
Here it is, coming up. 10
Okay,
seconds.
question 3. How
There
can
you go.
teachers have a voice in their school's technology revolution? And that's a very important question. That's why he said, we need a voice in it. Who's making the decisions? Think about it. We should be the ones making decisions, along with, you're going to see, it's going to follow up. We're going to have students, parents, etc. Everyone should have a voice, but teachers especially.
I think a huge part of that is related to professional development. I think when we take a look at the mindset of a top-down, one-size-fits-all, sit-and-get model for anything, and we waste our teachers' time over and over and over, I think we need to empower our teachers. I think we need to take use our teachers and cultivate teacher leadership inside of our buildings. I think as a former principal myself, I think principals often try and do it all and try and take it all on their shoulders. But I think when we cultivate teacher leadership, we empower our teachers, and sometimes we administrators just get the heck out of the way and let them run, really good things happen.
I'm going to go with tech girl Jenny, who's actually on her way here. She said, be involved. Change is scary for some, but it's important to voice concerns. You must be willing to provide solutions, alternatives, which is so true. How many times does technology not work? But as a teacher, you need to be prepared for when it doesn't work.
I think there's great learning in that, though, as well. That look, we're modeling mindset when we don't get discouraged, when we keep working, when we're planful, and when we have alternatives. I think that's really important as well.
And I think we have to get over the fact of failure. Nothing wrong with trying things out and modeling for our students. We tried. This is new, and you have to just not be afraid to learn. And I have a page for that. Learn from your mistakes.
What was that quote? Somebody put out a picture a couple weeks ago with Michael Jordan of how many times he failed before he was one of the most successful basketball players. It's all right to fail.
Hey, Billy, one of the things when we're talking about teachers and the technology revolution, what they can do to take control of that, is the fact that this technology that we're engaging in right now allows for autonomous learning. So learning that the teachers want to focus on their own. Instead of coming into a big room and having to listen to somebody and it doesn't relate to them, they can pick the topics that are important to them. So if technology revolution is important to you, you come down to the Welcome Lounge at ISTE, and you start learning about it and start engaging in it. If it's not, you pick something else that's going on during the day. That's the beauty of being able to connect this way.
It is true, and that's why, I mean, we have about, I would say, about 30 people, maybe a little bit more here this morning. Everyone woke up.
You can't count. It's over 50.
We have 50 people sitting here. I can't see. I only see like half the room. There's 50 people here, Scott. Everyone woke up.
But the satellite Georgia Tech Dome is also full.
Well,
A little bit more than that.
Is that the overflow location?
that's the overflow location.
Nice.
But a lot of people just came in last night, and some people are not used to the time zone difference. And we have 50 educators who are passionate about this, who are sitting here this morning with us, 7:30 in the morning, to have this conversation, which is such an important conversation to have.
There's nothing better. Nothing better than this example of why educators want to learn. Getting up early, taking time out of their own personal schedules to talk and collaborate and learn from each other. Doesn't get any better than this. Thanks, everybody.
Hey, Kyle's here. He made it.
Yeah.
Kyle, I'm just going to give Kyle a shout out. They were getting on their airplane last night. Their flight got canceled from Atlantic City. They had to drive to Philly to catch the plane to make it down here. But they're here, and they made it for SatChat.
Nice job, Kyle.
So to pull you all boys back on topic, a concrete things teachers can do is to have your door wide open and continuously invite your administrative team in. So sometimes administrative teams may or may not be receptive to that, but the awesome things that are going on in classrooms, keep your door open, tell them about it, and invite them into your classroom every day, and they might start to see the light. So from a teacher end, be transparent and share the awesome stuff you're doing every day.
Hashtag awesome educators.
I want to piggyback on that. I think we have to be willing to do double duty. So it's a gentle revolution. We have to say, yes, I'll do everything you tell me to do, and I'll show you how it can work better. If you refuse to do, then you're going to get beat down over it. We have to do both.
And I think what you do with that is if I'm a teacher and I connect with 2 or 3 other teachers in my building, in spite of possibly having a bonehead administrator, I come together and you do it in spite of them. There is no reason you cannot start a revolution with 3 or 4 teachers in your building doing whatever you need to do for kids. And then hopefully your administrator starts to buy on. Now, I say that bonehead administrator comment as a administrator myself for a number of years.
Right.
So.
By the way, there's plenty of room up front. Move up, please.
If we're seeing technology revolution going on, if we're seeing learning going on, it can't be a gotcha. It has to be, hey, I am here to support you and to help you and to be there for you. And you need to shout it out and share with them. Yeah, and then we share what we're seeing because that's how the things are going to change. And so when, I just met with my staff.
I'm getting nervous.
JD.
Notice move closer towards you, towards me.
And as an administrator, without those 2 or 3 that are buying in and really using it effectively, it doesn't go throughout. You got to have that.
Building on that, so the flip side of my other question, or my other response, is that I believe that principals can easily make or break digital innovation in their schools. And again, being a former principal, I say that. So for a principal to be able to, they don't have to be the most tech-savvy person in the world. It's the culture of risk-taking that they create in their environment, because a principal in a matter of a few sentences can make or break a career for a teacher. So when something goes wrong the first time they're doing something digital, when something goes wrong, they can be an encourager and an inspirer and help them understand how to do it differently, or in a matter of a few sentences, shatter their risk-taking. So from a principal end, creating a culture of risk-taking, a culture of innovation, allows your teachers to run. And that's where we see the most success.
That's true.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
So what are administrators currently doing to kind of spread that word amongst because there's a handful of forward-thinking administrators who feel that way, and then there's everyone else. So how can we spread that message so that it's what kind of things are being done? I don't know.
So as putting myself back in the principal's shoes, I want to know it works. So Show me in the classroom that it works. So invite me in. Show me why this is different. Show me why this is better. Some administrators will hop on very quickly. Some, as we know, it may take years. I've seen some of the most veteran administrators who are very anti-anything technology, lock it and block it, that whole mentality, start to see glimmers of hope in teachers that would say, come on in, let me show you. We're going to do a Google Hangout with somebody in London, and this is what my kids are going to get out of it, and this is how it's going to be different. It takes time.
I'll tell you. I'll give you an example. Eric Scheninger. He wasn't a champion of social media when he started out. When I met him about 5-6 years ago. Then he became a champion. Now he's a leader. He's going out. He wrote the book on digital leadership. He's going out. He's addressing other administrators. He's getting them involved in it so they see the light, because they have to see the light.
He's great, but with all due respect to him, you don't have to be in the news. You can talk to the principal right
Exactly.
from you, and you can say, this is working for my teachers. I'll send my teachers over to you. I'll pay for their subs to come over to talk to your folks if you're ever interested. It's working and sharing that and being willing to walk down, drive down the street and talk to people in your own school.
That's a great example, and I'm just going to throw a tool out there because sometimes we do the share the tools is Voxer. For those of you who don't know it, you can easily Vox between different buildings. If you're the only elementary principal, and a lot of times that happens, there's one elementary principal and there's 4 elementary buildings. They don't have an assistant principal, someone. But you can use the Voxer just to share ideas, what you're doing in the classroom, have teachers do PLCs through it. There's so much you can do with all these different tools, but we need to use it to help each other.
Hey, Billy.
Dan Filippo, give me a response and I'll play it on Vox.
Billy, on that issue of what administrators can do, here's the bottom line. As an administrator, being a former elementary principal myself, now a superintendent, as administrators, we have to stop saying no. No can't be our first answer every time. We have to look to find ways to say yes, especially when it motivates our teachers to do something new.
Hey, Joe Sanfilippo, since I know you're watching, give me a response on Voxer and I'll play it.
A safe response, Joe.
And administrators say, we want to do a pilot project. Everything else is beta, right? Tell your principal, I want to do a pilot project. That's how you get tech moving. If your administrator is not techie, you start the.
Okay.
Just do it. Yeah. Just do it.
There's many times that we've done things in our classrooms where I don't
That's
really,
right.
like, I'm just going to do it. I'm going to try it. And then, if something goes, like if there's a problem,
You're right, because I was always told, we don't do that here, Jerry. And I just closed my door, I did my thing, and eventually they caught on. Oh, that's a great idea. Where were you 5 years ago? Why not? That's good.
And we're on question 4, and we're teachers. This is the most important question, I think. Go ahead, Jerry.
How can students and Stu Voice be a part of a technology revolution? We don't ask our kids how they want to learn. We don't give them choices. We don't listen to them. What do you think?
Do you want this plug?
I know, but it's always.
But we don't.
USB? No, we're good. No, in there. I have my plug to your left.
Okay. I mean, like, I really would like examples as
Got y'all being busy.
Into a role of technology.
Rather than kill your charger.
That schools are bringing in student voices, because the schools that I have
I realize that before. Thank you.
embedded student voice isn't there.
Okay.
And so I would love.
One way with tech, every school, forget about the audio-visual squad. Have a tech help squad of students. Have a tech help desk. Involve the students, because they can help their peers and help their teachers. A lot of teachers are not comfortable. Kids are more adept in a lot of the technology than we are.
Jerry, I did that. Teachers would call my room and they would say, can you send down so-and-so? I can't get this done. And there are teachers who would allow that. Send somebody from your room that can help me with this thing. And the kids ate it up. They ate it up. And they're bored.
I have a page for that. Student tech help. Student tech help.
What's a page?
Hey, Hey, Billy, the other thing with getting students involved in showing teachers and administrators how to use technology, as educators, we also have to make sure that the students know how to properly use the technology. It's a whole nother topic, but we assume based on when they were born that when they pick up a device, they know how to use it. The reality is that they actually need to learn how to use it for educational purposes also. So we can help them in that way, and they can help us in actually getting over the fear of just trying to use something. I think it could be a great working relationship with our students, something that we're trying to do with teachers, and it could be a very collaborative learning environment.
Yeah, we have to show them how to use technology in an educational way. They all know. They're all walking around with devices doing everything. But they're not being responsible, and they don't know how to use it for educational purposes.
I had that problem.
And I get that from my daughter now. My daughter teaches on a college level. She said, Dad, they don't know how to do research, they don't know how to cite sources, they don't know how to evaluate the information.
What do I do with my college course? They have no clue.
Guys, we brought our student tech team this year, and they're doing a post session tonight at 7. So if 11.
Table 11. So anyone who's going table 11 tonight to see how students are.
Incorporating student voice is not like your conventional route in education. I feel like a lot of parents are thrown off and you don't take that conventional route. So I think it's necessary to be proactive with parents and talk to them first, let them know, like, hey, we're going to do something that you're probably not going to do in classes.
Question 5. You're ahead of yourself. I didn't exclude the parents because they're an important element here. Good point, though.
Jimmy, I'm going to call you out. You're tweeting from your hotel room rather than walking over here and being.
Jimmy, come on.
So we have a middle school leadership team. I think impact the spirit of the school as you can, talking about really core curriculum components, instructional ideas, or technology. There's no reason to not engage that leadership team in all aspects of leadership.
The other thing is that students will tell you how technology is working in their classrooms. As a technology director, when I in the classroom, and then all of a sudden I find out no as I thought. That input is valuable because then you can go back and make things better.
Jerry, we're getting a request from Australia to see your cape. wait, Jerry, here, turn towards the camera. That's good.
All right, guys, we're about a minute away from question number 5 coming out in a second.
Question 5. How can parents and the community be brought in to help with the technology revolution? I don't know your name. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Eric, go ahead, Eric.
That's Eric.
I just think it's important that we're proactive in communicating with parents that we're going to do things that they may view as unconventional in education. Like parents will ask, why doesn't my kid have homework? Or what do you mean my kid's using Twitter in the class? And they're really taken back by that. So I think when we do try these more innovative teaching practices and we try to incorporate student voice, that we are proactive with parents and get them involved in the whole process.
To share a lot of that stuff out on Twitter, Facebook, school, Facebook, Twitter pages. We did.
Hey, Billy.
Melissa Butler and I did, and some of you guys know.
Oh, Brad's back.
She would do a letter.
Billy.
Here that would say to her students, her parents, we are going to
Hold on, Brad.
Twitter in our class. We're going to be using Google Hangout in our class. We're going to be using Edmodo. These are the tools that we're using. If you have any problems with any of these, let us know. But we need it as a, here's why we're doing these tools, because we're trying to globally connect. And parents didn't have a problem after we explained it. And then have professional development for parents, too. Right. We've done that.
Go ahead, Brad. I know you wanted to say. Brad Curry's back with us.
After breakfast.
No, actually, we haven't gone yet. Hey, is Jimmy Cassis there?
No, Jimmy's tweeting from his hotel room 2 blocks away.
Are you in a barbershop, Brad? Brad, are you in a barbershop?
I would ask for a refund, Brad.
So I think the parent community voice also comes down to branding. So I want to give my boys Joe Sanfilippo and Tony Sinanis a shout out. They're writing a book for Corwin that is coming, or they've written it, which is coming out in the fall on school branding. I think schools need to do a better job on telling our story. It's really important because somebody's telling our school story. It's got to be us. And so branding to our community. So it's really, really important because a lot of times our parents just don't know. So when they don't know, that's when the fear comes. That's when they see the one Facebook post and they think they know everything about Common Core. Or they see the one Facebook post and they think their school district is terrible because of something. So we need to brand really, really well. We need to be transparent with the community and what we are doing, because that'll knock down a lot of fear, and fear stumbles innovation.
Yeah, Tom, I just wanted to come back on for a second and tell everybody to buy my book, All Hands on Deck. It's coming out in September. I'll see you later. Bye.
Go ahead, right here.
I recommend they save money and just buy it on Amazon used about a week later.
Sharon?
Just kidding, Bradley.
Wait.
Just really quickly, in kindergarten in Vermont, one of the things that I've done that's been really great is parents already have an opportunity to blog. That's choice of a blog that I put out there. So already I have 3 students that have already contributed to the blog. School ended 2 weeks ago. I've already had a chance to have a conversation with them in regards to what it would be like in kindergarten. Also, I think using Google Forms is a really great way. You can put that out to parents if you know who your students are going to be involved. And I also wrote a guide that it has not been published yet for PLP, but it's a guide on getting teachers and parents started right at the beginning. So because I have so many wikis and blogs, I use so many tools. The guide is like a book that goes chapter by chapter. Each of the different types of synchronous and asynchronous tools I use, how I use them, and why, and how they impact my life. So I think even if you think of one
Another like
that you want to start with, whether it's social media or blogging, choose that
8 minutes. Parents, yeah, around parents and community.
modeling it and bringing out your learning that you're doing with your students and modeling them. I think sometimes we get stuck and we feel like we have to do 1,000 things. And I have found that parents, my last presentation in Burlington College, I had 3 parents who actually participated in looking at me during my presentation, and I brought kindergarten students with me. It's through this kind of modeling that we just need to do it, like just so we can learn. And then they see that and they experience it. And it does work.
Thank you. Shout out to Joe Mazin, all he's doing to bring parents into the picture. He started the PT chat, parent-teacher chat. He also has a parent-teacher camp. And that's what we have to do. We have to involve parents in the process. Have your tech nights. Have the parents involved in the planning of the tech nights. And the students, of course.
Joe is currently in the beach, or at the beach, and if he was a really dedicated educator, he'd be on Sat Chat as well.
Hey, Joe, since Mario just called you out being at the beach, but I know you're on the way to New York. Question 5 for Sat Chat Live at ISTE is, how can parents and the community be brought in and help with the technology revolution? Hopefully you can respond to this in your car. So just give us a response and I'll play it on air.
Hey guys, just while we're here going through questions and talking live, I want to give credit to all the people every Saturday morning who get up and talk through Twitter, connect through Twitter with us on the Sat Chat every Saturday morning at 7:30. There's a robust conversation happening right now on this topic outside of the live chat happening at ISTE. It just keeps going and going and going, and great ideas are being expressed out there. So thanks to everybody who's getting up early in the morning every Saturday morning to join us and be part of this conversation.
Mm-hmm. And shouts to those who do EdTech Chat with Susan and I.
App, it actually teaches them how to use Twitter. On a real serious note, even though Susan's right there and I am promoting it, I've been playing with it. It's a worthwhile app.
Susan, take it out.
And don't forget to come to our workshop on Monday. Susan and I are giving a workshop on Twitter 101.
And for $99.99, you can have that.
And $99 of that goes to Tom Murray's fund.
Drew, you want to say something?
Well, I think there are three important pieces. There is transparency that we talked about. I think there's training, but I think also a big one is being receptive to feedback. So if we can help parents, we launched a Twitter initiative this year with every teacher tweeting to grade level hashtags. Of the same grade, and we did parent training with them on how to engage this way, but we also have to be receptive to their feedback about the fact that they have fears for digital safety. We have to make a safe space for us to discuss this so that we're truly partnering going forward in our next and in our future decisions.
I think we struggle with voice in education in general. How often do our schools reach out to parents and give anonymous surveys on effective feedback in their job? How often do principals give anonymous surveys to the teachers on their leadership? How often do superintendents and other administrators do the same? That we need that feedback to be better for our kids, but it's something we rarely do. We talk about it, we talk about getting feedback, but how often do we really, really do it? So I think it's a challenge to actually do it well.
I think do surveys, but
well said.
Last question is going to be coming up in about 2 minutes, guys. Coming up 2 minutes, last question.
Well, you want to say something?
So, does anybody else have anything about how we can involve parents? I just sent a Vox to Joe Mazza because he's actually headed into New York City to talk about a global, some global conference. So I just Voxed him to see if he would contribute anything. But does anybody else have any other ways?
Yes, that's what I said. That's Mazza.
Yes.
Yes. And then I'll get the parents in there with the kids actually demonstrating. Oh, yes. Good one.
Our parents are most worried about the university's colleges response. Community have a little bit. Yeah, our parents in my district are worried about colleges and universities. Some way to have a very strong people who accept kids to college.
Last question's out.
You want to get the last
Okay, the last question. Question 6. How can you, as a school leader, ensure a successful technology revolution? As a school leader.
So
we talked about the students, we talked about the parents, now you as a school leader and teachers.
Hey, guys, here's my point on that last question. As a school leader, at one of our board meetings, we actually had the students and grade level teachers come in and actually demonstrate how they're using technology as centers in math centers in 2nd grade. And then the board members and administrators that sit at the board table actually went around and the students taught us. This way you can demonstrate what's actually happening on a daily basis. It was a fun time, exciting time. Kids were great teachers and let us know how they're exactly using technology in the classroom.
When I was a principal, my mantra was always hire really good people, train them well, and get the heck out of their way. And I think that's one way to do it.
Could you make a caveat to that, which is get the obstacles out of their way?
Cut the red tape. I agree with that.
Including yourself if you are listening.
So a shout to my man Steven Anderson, who just responded, leaders need to understand how to lead digitally. They have to understand how to use and effectively coach as well. I agree with that. for the most part, I don't think your principals have to be the most tech-savvy person. It's about creating the culture to let others do it if you don't necessarily have the capabilities. So I think they need to find ways to model. I think they need to use technology effectively. How many times do we go to something like a faculty meeting, talk about differentiated instruction, and it's one size fits all lecture from the principal? And so that modeling for anything from a principal or any sort of leader is absolutely paramount.
All right, guys, as we're wrapping up, I'm going to punch out of the Hangout here. I'll wrap up the rest of the conversation online with our folks who are talking with us and collaborating with us. But, hey, thanks to everybody who's live at ISTE right now, joining us in the welcome room there and the welcome lounge, and have a great conference.
Thank you, Scott. Have a good day.
Scott.
All right, take care, guys.
Right, we're still going to stay live for the next 12 minutes. And did the last question come out yet?
Yeah, I just...
You just announced that one, right? Problem is, there's a lot of spam coming out right now.
I think it's important also for digital leaders or any leader to be transparent in their learning. When you screw up, when you make a mistake, be transparent with it. Show your teachers that you're human. Show them that it's okay to apologize and say, you know what, I screwed up when I made that decision. And that transparency is key, because when your teachers do the same, they'll follow your lead with that.
And your students really appreciate that, and that's what brings the relationship, openness, so that they can step up and help you because they see your willingness to learn.
Yep.
Okay, Jeremy Holcutt tweeted, create a culture that encourages learning, model tech, and make it safe to fail. What? That's it. Hey, there you are, right?
Vicky Day, where's Flat Vicky?
The Sean McCoy, man.
Said, don't give up
Pitt.
and keep doing what is best for kids. She's a principal in upstate New York. And Joe, I'm going to give Joe a shout out. He's at Follow PT Camp for Family Community Engagement Resources. So 100+ educators, parents, leaders to discuss and beyond the bake sale. I know somebody else shouted that out before.
And Sandra Track, leaders must model authentic tech uses and resources as means to leading, learning, living.
All right, Joe actually responded.
Hey, Billy, hope you guys are having a good time and a great morning at ISTE. I guess my first thought to this question would be to, as educators and...
Put it to the mic.
Hold on. I have a better idea.
It's a good thing we have a lot of techie people here.
Hey, Billy, hope you guys are having a good time and a great morning at ISTE. I guess my first thought to this question would be to, as educators and parents, we need to swim in the social media waters ourselves to set the table on anything that we do down the road. So with everything we say verbally and or virtually, we need to do that responsibly. We need to do that safely and effectively and model transparency for kids and families. From there, we can evolve according to the needs and the resources available in our community. But we need to kind of look ourselves in the mirror and make sure that we're learning as much as we possibly can and creating a culture of learning, whether that be tools or something else.
I think Joe has a good point there. It is about getting everyone involved. And I'm going to actually go back to question 6 now after what Joe said. And Barry Sade, who's an educator in New Jersey, and he wrote, model what he expects, show examples of best practice, highlighted in newsletters, at PTA meetings. He's also, I'm going to give him a shout out for New Jersey. He's going to be planning in September an ECET conference, which I don't know if any of you know, they do an ECET2 chat on Sunday nights, and it's part of the Gates Foundation. I don't know what the initials stand for, so I don't want to say, but it's celebrating effective teachers in the classrooms, what teachers do great in the building. So that's another good chat to join. It's also part of the Gates Foundation, so if you look up ECET2, you'll see a lot of great information about what teachers are doing well.
I think leadership is about enabling your people, and also leadership is about getting things done. I think too many times we meet, and it's 6 months later and nothing's gotten done. So leadership is about action, and making things work for kids.
Angelina Shai from New Jersey, no top-down mentality. Bring all the stakeholders to the table. Lead with the teacher leaders. Be risk takers. Stop the hours. PD.
Stephanie Jacobs, extra question. That's retweeted Scott's extra question. What is one app, program, device you're using in your technology revolution? Anybody want to share? We'll do for the last few minutes. We'll do a smackdown of an app. Why not? Why don't we do an ISTE smackdown right here? App smackdown.
So I'm going to go out and I'm going to throw out Voxer, if you're not familiar with it.
Yo, you stole it.
So every day I learn from 10 of the best educators around the country. Many of you are on this chat today. Jimmy Casas, Joe Mazza, Joe Sanfilippo, and a group of 10 of us every single day are talking about educational issues. Whether it's blended learning, whether it's one-to-one, whether as a principal I'm going to implement something. We've talked about tough personnel, confidentially, tough personnel standpoints. When you can not go at it alone and you can get the feedback of people that you respect, community conversation, it's differentiated in the sense that you can do it at any point in time when you see the need. Joe just voxed in for you guys. Back from, but
I know some people have been using it for a while now, but we started using Minecraft for the first time in our school this year.
Minecraft.
And it is awesome. The kids, we did math curriculum inside Minecraft where they would have to build a pen. The teacher would give them the area, then they would have to figure out what the perimeter would be. So they have to, it was really cool. And then when the kids did it right, we gave them an animal in their pen. And they were so excited to get a pig or a goat or something in their
GeoGuessr? Has anyone played
GeoGuessr.
Oh, I've never even heard of that one.
Yes, it's awesome.
Maps, and it's kind of like a game, but what it does is it drops you down somewhere in the world on Google Maps, and it doesn't tell you where you are. Then you have to use context clues to try to figure out where you are in the world and then make a guess. Then you make 5 guesses and make like a total score. So you can incorporate all kinds of different aspects of the curriculum into it. You can incorporate math, and geography, and context clues,
cultural learning.
Free, and use Google Maps. GeoGuessr.
That's the best part of it. It's free.
We're doing a mystery location workshop, the 3 of us.
Yeah, on Sunday at 2:30.
Mystery location call
and
workshop.
I'm doing a mystery location Ignite session on Sunday at 8:30.
That's a great one. Anyone else?
Which if I could fit it in my like 5 minutes that I have.
We're enjoying exploring Erasmus, using more augmented reality. Kids are really enjoying it. Teachers are using it. So it's early on. Certainly keep following Drew Menach and Brad Wade, seeing the amazing stuff they're doing with it.
And I have a page for augmented reality and mystery location calls and plenty of geography stuff.
When you don't find a page is when you drink.
Layer's another good augmented reality app. Layer, L-A-Y-A-R. I used to use it Erasmus, but I switched to Layer because it's easier for the student.
Play the music.
And yeah, like students.
I will hold it. I gave them out. So
it's a little more user friendly.
Sorry.
And it's really good. Another really good augmented reality app is, have you used ColorMix?
Yes. Color.
And
Love that.
Home Bill are 2 really cool
Use Color for
apps that are like coloring pages, sort of make them come to life.
Anyone else have an app they want to share?
Wait, what's going?
Could be any app for educational use.
Touchcast.
Actually report the news, they'll interview
classmates
and teachers across the building, and that's
I wish you had that when I taught all that stuff. You're so lucky you don't realize it.
And we're lucky.
Justin, I am not announcing what you just put out there on the air. I'm not announcing CompuServe and Netscape Navigator are really revolutionary. AOL. Rich Kiker is an expert on AOL.
I think regardless of whatever app, whatever technology we're talking about, it's not about the technology. It's always about the learning, and we can never ever lose sight of that.
Okay, can you three kind of?
Joe, you can send them our way. Is that the thing with the bird?
It's a level playing field. Isn't it wonderful how we are family now as a result of Twitter? How great is that?
Okay, Bill, can you
Connect,
kind
learn,
of
and share.
sit back so I can get the three of you in a picture?
Oh, hold on. Hold on, Paula.
Lucia, let's sing.
Okay, all right, what you gotta do is a revolution song. All right, I gotta get y'all. We all wanna change the world. Okay, thank you. You tell me that it's
Hold on, we gotta do one more.
Hey, a little shout out for Sat Chat Live this morning.
Thank you for coming.
Thank you guys for coming.
You're great.
Destruction.